Good morning, my loves. Happy Wednesday. Beautiful day here at the lake. The sun came out just a little bit ago. It's pretty. I think the high today is like 103, so it's not bad. It's currently, I looked a few minutes ago, it's like 85, so it's fine. For those that don't know, Finn passed. And for those that do know and have been sending me some of the sweetest notes on the planet, thank you so much on behalf of myself and Finn. At least he's no longer suffering. That's how I'm making it through the day. You know, he's not suffering anymore. Today's topic, kiddos learn what they live. That becomes their norm. A child raised in an environment of violence, that's the norm for them. They think everybody's house is like this. Kids raised where drugs, including weed, is the norm. Everybody's smoking and drinking, and this is just how it is. To them, that's their norm. They grew up thinking everybody's house is like this. For kids whose family members, could be a parent, could be a sibling, a grandparent, whatever, but they're in and out of jail, in and out of rehab, they grew up thinking this is the norm. I know people that have, because I do once in a while, I'll have, what do I want to say? Gosh, I can't even think this morning. I will be assigned a case, a court case, and I'll have to work with somebody that is currently incarcerated, or they just got out, and I'll just work with them for a little bit. And they're usually really nice. You know, everybody has issues. They're people just like we are. They're just trying to make ends meet and trying to make it through the day. But in their life, crime, they were raised with this. Their parents were thieves. Their parents were in and out of jail. You know, and they'll say, well, you know, how many times have you been arrested? Never. You mean you've never been to jail? No, not once. No one in my family has been to jail. That's not our norm. But then I tell them, I don't want them to feel bad. I'll say, but that's how you grew up. For you, that's your norm. The kids that you grew up with, in your, you know, in your neighborhood, in your school, maybe that was their norm, that mom and dad were in and out of jail, siblings in and out of rehab. Somebody gets shot, somebody gets murdered, and it's the norm for them. Sweetheart, no childhood should have that for a norm. There are families where incest, child abuse, rape of children, horrible things are the norm. I just remember so clearly a little girl that was, I don't know, I'm going to say she was around 10. I can't remember exactly, but she refused to bathe and change her clothes. And this went on for a while because girlfriend was a little gamey. This was many, many, many years ago. And nobody could figure out why. I know why. I knew why. And the school was upset, understandably. The foster parents were really upset, understandably, and they would say, you have to take a shower. Come on, let's go swimming. And no. She slept in the same clothes. And this went on a long time. And they just said, talk to her. Just talk to her. See, you know, because people open up to me. I'm nice on occasion. So I sat down with her with a McDonald's Happy Meal. Great icebreaker for kids. That or puzzles. Food works. So we were sharing a Happy Meal. I mean, who can resist McDonald's French fries? And talking. And she started to open up. Her mom's boyfriend raped her over and over and over and over since she was 7. 7 years old. That would be what, 2nd grade? Mom was a sound sleeper and drank and did a lot of weed. Mom would pass out. Boyfriend would come into her room. And she said she got to the point she didn't fight it anymore. She knew it was going to happen, and she would just lay there and wait because it was going to happen. And she hated it, and she hated them, and that's why she kept running away. I understand that. I would run away too. She tried to talk to her mom. Her mom blamed her. Well, if you wouldn't be shaking your booty in his face. She wasn't. She stayed away from him, as far away from him as she could. Mom just didn't want to see it. Mom saw this little girl as a threat. She's a little girl. She's not a threat. She went to her mom asking for help, and her mom turned her away. She went to her grandma. Grandma got mad. Got mad at the mama, got mad at the boyfriend, got mad at the little girl because she ain't acting right. beat the little girl. She was going to beat it out of her. Beat out of her that she's a little girl that was raped by a guy. Makes no sense. And I told her this. Thank God she was in foster care. And I did say, I want to share this with the foster family. She said, I don't want to talk about it with them. Fine, honey, you don't have to. I will. Let me talk for you, okay? I want you in the room because I don't want to do it behind your back, but I want you to be there. She agreed. I talked to the foster parents. She had a CASA worker that the courts had assigned it. I'm so thankful for them. They are wonderful. I did some CASA work years ago, and I loved it. So we had the CASA representative and the, I cannot think this morning. I'm sorry. The foster parents were there, and the little girl sat in the dining room. And I told them what had transpired. They cried. They cried. And the mom got up, and the look on her face, you didn't know how this was going to go because you could tell inside, she was livid. She was furious somebody had done this. And she stood up, big girl now, big girl, stood up, and there was just rage in her face. And she walked into that dining room, and the look on that little girl's face was, she's going to beat me. She's going to hit me. And she grabbed her, and she hugged her so tight. Sorry. She hugged her so tight and said, no one is ever touching you again. And you know why? She called her husband by name. We're adopting you. We are going to petition the court. It's going to happen. You're safe. Little girl didn't know what to think because she had never felt safe, ever. She had never had anybody to turn to. And for a minute, she was just frozen. Highs, were huge. And then she hugged her back. And the longer she hugged her, the stronger the hug, and she was just clinging to her like a lifeline. But the truth was out. The little girl has a new norm. No child should be raised in a toxic environment. No child should be raised thinking violence is the norm. No child should be raised thinking cussing out a teacher, pushing a teacher, hitting an adult, hitting your parents, swearing at your parents is the norm. It's not. You want to know the norm? Now, this is just my opinion, and I'm an old lady, and I was raised in the Midwest, so now you know. Being respectful and kind and compassionate and empathetic. Helping a neighbor out, being there for somebody, being a good friend, being a listener, caring. That should be the norm. That if you're a kiddo and you have a classmate that doesn't have lunch, tell your mama. Bet she can whip up an extra peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Absolutely, she'll do it. She might even have them over for dinner a couple of times. We have to take care of each other. We have to teach our children compassion and to care about each other, to take care of each other. To have each other's back, but not to lie for each other and cover each other's mistakes and, be their fall guy, but to be there, be a friend. Be a friend. If they go to school, school's starting soon, and they see somebody that doesn't have a backpack, winter comes along, maybe they don't have a coat or a coat that fits or one that isn't ragged and torn up, that they feel safe enough, they can come to mom and dad and say, hey, so-and-so at school, I think they need some help. Mom and dad can help out. A lot of families will do that. I have done that. I cannot tell you how many times. Yesterday, after Finn passed, I donated a lot of his cat stuff to a shelter. I didn't want to just keep staring at it, but I knew there was something out there. There were cats and families out there that could use it. I have bags of clothes that I'm going to be giving away soon. Business clothes, jeans, just the usual girl stuff. I have a huge tub of shoes I'm going to be giving away. Yeah. I'm not using them, so I'm going to bless somebody else with it. Teach your children to bless others. Let that be the norm. If you want blessings in your life, you got to give blessings. Be a blessing. If you need blessings in your life, be a blessing to somebody else. Help somebody else. Absolutely. But kids learn what they live. You are the role model. You are the example. The same-sex role model is the strongest. For the most part. Not always, but for the most part. Kids live what they learn. If your kid is stressed out and angry and fighting, thought I was going to sneeze, and having issues at school or in daycare, don't get mad when the first thing they ask is, hey, what's going on at home? Kids will mirror what's going on at home. If people are physically violent with each other, they're going to be physically violent. It's their norm. Look at your life. See how it mirrors your childhood. Look at your kids' lives. See how it mirrors what's going on in your house. Kids learn what they live. Bottom line.